Andrew Tate just got released out of jail and he played a chess game. Let's see the game. He started by pushing pawn to d4. His opponent played knight f6. Now he pushed c4 and now the opponent played queen's gambit. Andrew declined it and developed his bishop on b5. And then the opponent took his pawn. Andrew pushed his e3 pawn and now his opponent is attacking his bishop. Now Andrew tries to save the bishop and now his opponent is showing some aggression. He goes for g5, attacking his bishop again. Now Andrew tries to save the bishop and now the opponent accomplishes his mission by taking the bishop down. Now Andrew takes the knight back and tries to protect the pawn. Now, according to me, this is a very bad move because now you cannot push this pawn ahead. So, Andrew tries to take advantage of this fact and drops a check. His opponent saves and Andrew blunders here by taking the pawn. Can you find the winning move for his opponent? Yes, the move is pawn to b5, attacking both the queen and the bishop. And once you take the pawn, you are losing a piece by force. So this was the winning move. But guess what? Andrew Tate is playing, so the opponent is fearing to him and tries to take the bishop, which is not at all a good move. Andrew takes the bishop back and now his opponent drops a queen check. Andrew offers a queen exchange, and who will not like Andrew's queen? So both the players exchanges the queen and his opponent develop his knight. Now Andrew goes for knight e4, attacking the g5 pawn, and now the opponents try to save the pawn. This is a blunder. Can you guess the winning move? If you found it, the move is knight takes the pawn, and now this pawn cannot take this knight because the rook is hanging. So Andrew could have won an pawn for free, but he doesn't find this and he plays his knight on f3, developing it, and then opponents play bishop g7, developing his bishop. Now Andrew tries to connect both of his rook by playing king to e2 and his opponent castles. Now Andrew goes for pawn to b4. Now the opponents attack the Andrew knight by pushing the pawn. Andrew saves the knight. The knights get exchanged. And now his opponent brings the rook to the center. Now Andrew tries to attack the king. He tries to stop the pawn march. And Andrew also brings his rook to the center. Now, once everything happens, the game proceeds and Andrew wants to double his rooks. But guess what? His opponent is coming for him. And once Andrew double his rooks, there was a pawn threat to capture. So his opponent plays rook to d7, protecting it. And now Andrew is trying to get control of this square. And his opponent play pawn to h4. And you know what? Andrew had a very cool move. Andrew just took this pawn, but he could have lifted the pawn by just playing knight c4, which was his original plan. If his opponent would have taken the pawn, he could have dropped this check, dropping this rook in the next move. But this didn't happen in the game, and Andrew just took the pawn. Obviously, the opponent captures the pawn back. Now Andrew tries to save this check. His opponent goes for e5, which is a bad move. Andrew could just have played g3, attacking this rook, and the rook would have to move back. But Andrew directly doesn't play that and goes for knight c4. Now his opponent doubles the rook. Now Andrew goes for g3, but now the rook doesn't have to lift back. It can just drop a check, which he does. And now the rooks get exchanges. And now, after all of this, Andrew is a pawn down, and now he has to save this position, and Andrew tries to do it by playing knight to e3. Now his opponent attack the knight. Now knight again goes to c4. Now this is a threat, so Andrew tries to protect it. Now the king tries to go in the safe corner. Now Andrew is trying to attack this pawn, but that's not really a threat because this rook is protecting it. Now his opponent just stop it and attacking his knight. Now again knight moves to c4. Now there is a double attack. So if he doesn't move, then lose out the bishop. So it moves the bishop back, and now Andrew plays pawn to f3. Now his opponent pushes the pawn, and after pawn to g4, he again pushes the pawn, trying to build a fortress on this side, and he will try then to get some of these pawns. So the opponent plays rook to e2, and now the opponent is trying to activate his king. Now Andrew brings his knight to the center. His opponent infiltrates its rook, and after knight to g6, his opponent takes the pawn, and Andrew decides there is no point in fighting this losing battle as he is already down 2 pawns, and Andrew resigns in this position.